All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Good to see you all. Hello, Vrabo. Welcome back. Good to see you again. All right, so today, we're just going to be working on doing some UI animations for Gunforged here. So, that's what we're going to be doing. All of this is in service of getting the demo done by the end of the month. So you could say that this is just like a polishing effort, I guess. So I've got a bunch of UIs that I'm going to animate. I've been also unifying a lot of the UI styles, and I think that all of that is shaping up very well. So we'll get right into that. But before I do, I just want to call out again that I have Udemy courses available. So if you'd like to support my work as I try to make it as a full-time indie game developer, definitely check out those courses. It will help me out financially, but also you will learn how to build a game in the Godot engine. So check those out. If you'd like to support me in other ways, there are a ton of links in the description below. You can sign up for my email list at firebelly.com, and you can also like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. Every little bit helps and is greatly appreciated. So it's been a while, but how come you didn't stream for a few days a while back? I was a little bit busy last week. I had a bunch of stuff going on in the mornings, so unfortunately wasn't able to stream. And I probably won't be streaming as much during the weekends either. So I'll probably just keep my streams limited to the weekdays. But we'll see. I'm trying to settle into a better stream schedule that I can hold, but not quite there yet. Okay, so let me show you what I got. Meowdy, that's a new one. Welcome, Bitlytic, however that Y is pronounced. So I've got this chain panel animator component, which basically just renders chains and then brings in a UI like that. This is a modification of the wave complete screen, so I kind of abstracted this animation into a component that can be used to animate some UIs. And so I've done that for several things. So if I run the game here, you can see if I open up the pause menu now, that comes down as a series of chains and like metal panels. All the buttons have been made like extruding metal as well. So I think that's super cool. And then if I were to click something like options here, that will show up as another panel on the front here. And of course, I've got all these things. Whoa! The full screen broke my stream for a little bit there. But yeah, so, and then I've got updated sliders. Let's reset all those to defaults. So yeah, that's what I've got going on here. And my goal is basically just to bring this style now to more of the game. So if I go over here, we got it in place there as well. And then this one still needs to be updated. And I've got the sliders updated as well. So yeah, it's coming along. The UI is definitely looking more, what's the word? It's looking more coherent, cohesive, whatever those words are. So let's go to the gun part unlocks table here. We've got the gun part unlocks screen. So here, this is what I want to do. So these gun ingots are hidden, I believe. So these get set to visible. Loadout selection. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit interesting, but we're just going to start with, we'll start with just this gun part unlocks here. So what was really interesting is that I had to introduce a custom node, which I call a pass-through control here. And basically what this pass-through control does is it modifies either its position and size or the child position and size based on how you configure the layout flags and whatnot. And the purpose of this is that this breaks. So in Godot, you cannot effectively animate children of containers because containers automatically manage their child sizes and positions. And so by introducing an intermediary control, I now have the freedom to animate, for instance, the VBox container underneath that pass-through control. I can animate this however I want, while the pass-through control stays positioned according to its container parent. And so what I can do then is I can animate this VBox container while still maintaining the dimensions that I want it to have. And I need to undo all that stuff that I just did. So undo the position. So this pass-through control now, I have different size modes here. So I can use the parent or the child size mode. I think I probably want to use, well, what is the... I probably want to use the parent mode and then do layout. Actually, I don't know what I want to do here. This VBox container is shrink center horizontally. Okay. So I do want to use the child size. So I set this to child mode there. And then the layout flags. I think I can set that to shrink center, right? Yeah. So it's a little bit confusing because of the way that Godot control nodes work, but you know how it is. Desker with the dab, thank you. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. So yeah, this pass-through control is not perfect, but if I were to run this now, there we go. So we're getting there. And so now the next thing that I need to do is I essentially need to do more pass-through controls here. Oops, is that gonna, it's gonna crash, isn't it? All right, go ahead and crash, Godot. You gonna crash? Hello? I guess I'll just get another instance opened up preemptively here. There we go, it finally crashed. I guess we're gonna see if we're gonna have to deal with that. Let's just do a pass-through control here. Make that a child, there we go. It's a little bit buggy, but you know, you can't win them all. So if I use multiple pass-through controls, then I can do sway pass-through, and then drop pass-through. And those are necessary because then I can use this chain panel animator component. And in here, I can drop those things in. We're going to do a speed scale of 2, disable sway, disable rotation, duration of 0. And then in here, I believe what I can do is I can add marker 2Ds. And this is where I mark where the chains connect to. Okay, and then I can just link those in here. And now, if I did everything correctly, we should see that it animates in. Nice. That marker doesn't seem to be correct, though. Did I put the same marker? No. I'm just going to put a color rectangle there. I just want to see where it thinks that marker is. Oh, I guess it's being extended because of this scroll bar here. That's probably what's happening. So where is the scroll container? Can I make this always visible? I should probably instantiate some of those buttons too. Yeah, so it gets a little bit stretched out when there's buttons there. Okay, so I think that'll be fine. Maybe I won't put always show there. Let's see, let's turn that back off. Okay, well, that'll work. And then I'll do this. Okay, that's more accurate now, but I'll have to also free those now when I start. Grid container.remove and queue free children. Okay. Let's give a gander to that. Hello, Chizuru. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. All right, now we've got proper positioning of the chains, animated, looking good. So we've got a bunch of issues with the UI here, but we're slowly getting there. Okay, now let's see what happens if I'm gonna stage those just in case. So what happens now if I have these available to me? Let's see. This one, right? Loadout selection. So I'll just go ahead and add that to my save data here. So now that I have that meta upgrade unlocked, I'll be able to see what it looks like with both of those things in place. Perfect. Okay. So now we probably need to animate these to come down as well. That's probably going to be very difficult. But we're going to give it a shot. We're going to give it a shot. So maybe this will be relatively straightforward. Maybe. I'm just trying to figure out what all the sizing is doing. There's a lot going on here, so I think probably I'm going to inadvertently break some things, but I guess that's fine. Actually wonder if I can use... So we'll use the child, yeah. Got the custom minimum size, perfect. This should have a custom minimum size set as well. So now I can just go here, reset that position. This needs to be shrink center, shrink begin, and expand. I just want to make sure that that's not doing anything weird. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to copy these properties then. Well, probably shouldn't do that actually. Reset the position. Then what do I need? I need the layout of this to be shrink center and then shrink begin. Perfect. Okay. Let's duplicate this. I haven't tried this yet. If I assign the same node to both of these, like so, assign some markers in here now. I have no clue if this is going to work, but we're going to find out. Drop those markers in there. All right. See what happens. Hello, Eric Grove Art. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you again. Ooh, that didn't work. Okay. It probably didn't work because I need to add another one. This setup is a little bit cumbersome, but it's fine. All right, let's see what that does then. Nice. Okay. All right, we're getting the consistency that we need. I'm just going to go ahead and copy. Parameter data tree is null. What does that mean? Oh. Wish I had the time to make this a little bit more robust, but I don't have the time to do that. Gonna need to add some code to be able to more specifically control these animations as well. But that is for another time. All right, let's see what that does. That should work. Nice. All righty. Okay, all right. Now let's do a couple of things. So I'm gonna commit, well, let's see. Let's just stage those changes, I suppose. Actually, probably commit. So add UI animations to gun unlocks screen. Okay, so we're good with that. Let's go ahead and modify this chain panel animator component. I think what I want is so this play in here, start position, drop tween, Disable rotation, rotation tween, sway tween. Let's do this. Drop animation root dot position is equal to start position. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do an async. Let's do await this dot timer. Let's do another export variable here. Private. Well, this is not going to work that well, is it? Okay, let's do this. Float play in delay. I'm not going to use async, I don't think. If drop tween dot play, no. If play in delay is greater than 0, drop tween dot tween interval to play in delay, and then I'm gonna have to do this for basically every tween here. So same for here. Rotation tween. So I have to do this too. Sway tween, tween interval, and then I need to do this. Sway tween dot chain. Ridiculous. Okay. It's a little bit messy, but we're gonna work with it. Maybe property to add rand delay. I could do that, yeah. Are you using a Git front end or just IDE integration? I'm using the VS Code Git integration. So yeah, I like using that UI for that. I use Fork at work, but wondering if there's anything nice out there for indies. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like sometimes I'll just open up the VS Code just to use for, like, I won't even be writing any code in here, but I'll just use it as like my Git UI. That's, I don't know. I don't like using the command line with Git. I mean, it's fine. I'll do it for some things. Like some things you have to use the command line for, but it's just much easier to have the UI. All right. So did this crash or did I not run it? Make sure the base case still works fine. Perfect. Okay. So for this, we're going to do a play in delay of 0.2. And this, a play in delay of 0.4. See what this does. Nice. Now, what does that look like in game? That's the question. Ooh, that looks pretty good, actually. Looks like this is not starting in the right position. This gun part unlocks. It seems like it's just instantaneously appearing. I think part of that might be because it doesn't know what its size is prior to this chain panel animator component working. This is being called in a deferred fashion. So that should be happening after all the calculations have been done. Let me see something. Well, actually, let's go ahead and commit that, or stage that rather. And let's see. Am I on the right screen? I am. No, this should be, the size is known here. Does this need to be global position? No, that should be... Maybe this needs to be converted to... Sway animation root. No, that's right. So it's taken the global position Y. And maybe it would be easier to do this. Let's see. Can I do 2 local? There's no 2 local for this one. So I think this is probably not... It's almost like it's starting like here or something before it gets dropped down. I think I need to figure out how to get that position started correctly. Unless that's just playing tricks on me. It'll be easier to see in here, I guess. In the actual game where I can keep reopening it. Yeah, it's like it's not coming down from the top properly. That one looks fine. Maybe it's just happening super quick. What happens if I slow it way down? Speed scale, 0.1. Oh, it is working properly. It's just happening so fast that I can't tell. I wasn't paying attention. Let's see. Yeah, I guess it is coming down from the right spot. It's just hard to see when it's got a larger speed scale. Hello, Keep a Chew. Do you also create art yourself? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Everything you see on this screen has been drawn by me. Okay, well, I'm just going to say it's working. The only difference is the speed scale, so it's probably just coming in quickly to the point where it looks like it's appearing immediately, but I don't think there's a way to really solve that. So talented, I don't like you now. Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I published a recent video on pixel art tips, so if you're interested in that, check out my channel for that video. Just a couple of tips that I picked up as I was learning, and still am learning pixel art. That looks really good, actually. I like that style. Very thematic, a little bit of offset there. So this whole screen here, this screen is ridiculous. This screen needs to be redone as well. It should be pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do a redo of this screen, but that's another target on my list. So I think the next one we want to do, got to redo that level select screen as well. Just a placeholder. The next thing that we want to do is look at the gun forge table. I'm a little bit nervous about that one because there's a lot going on in that table UI. So we're gonna see. This screen, I think the only thing I want to change here is to change that title. This choose a passive title, that's out of place now. I like the way the ingots slam in here though. So probably we'll keep that. And then in here, so yeah, we're gonna apply basically the same ideas here, I think. So have some chains running down this whole panel and bring that all down at once. And then this reforge button needs to change as well. Okay. Lots of work still, but we're getting there. So yeah, I'm going to animate all this in next, I think. That's the next major thing. We'll do the same thing here for this screen in terms of the title there. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We're getting there. So let's do that. Actually, you know what? Before I do this screen, I actually do want to do this passive screen first because I have something that I want to try and I'm curious to see how it looks. So, okay, animate gun part unlock screen. So I believe this screen is what we're looking at, yeah. So we got this reroll button that's just kind of floating out there as well. We were, oh my gosh, I can't talk, I guess. We are going to call this one UGLY, ugly. So we're not going to keep that there because it's ugly. We'll do something else. So easier said than done though. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this title. This animator control here, goodbye. So that's gone. VBox container. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this reroll button. But I do know that I want a title here. So what I'm going to do is go to my wave complete screen here. Why is this control here? Is this what the rotation? Sway root. I'm actually not, I don't think I need that control there. I'm breaking things now. You know, the old adage is don't fix what ain't broke, and here I am fixing what ain't broke. Let's see what happens though. I don't think I needed that extra control right there. Ooh, okay. I guess I did need that extra control. So you're just adding a pass through, so I basically just put it back the way it was, but okay, that'll work. Okay, I guess, yeah. I didn't really change much there, I suppose. But using more of the tooling that I've specifically designed for this animation purpose, so I'll call that good. Oh, right, so I actually wanted that open because I'm essentially just going to copy and paste this over here. We got the wave complete there. Okay. This is not going to say wave complete. This is going to say choose a passive. Cool. I don't want that margin container, actually. I'm going to get rid of that. We don't need these to be unique anymore. I actually don't think these need to be unique either. And that those markers don't need to be unique. Okay. Wave complete. Anchors mode. Okay, this is just... I'm just going to rebuild this because I don't know what's going on. Pass-through control. This is going to use the parent mode. Shrink center. Shrink begin. This here. Reduce that size. Where's the position? Do I want it to be child, actually? Oh, okay, I guess I want that. Right, okay. So this is going to be the sway. Pass-through control. We can reset this pivot offset here. I think. Yes. Okay, and then I need to create another pass-through control. This is going to be the... Oh, it always crashes when I do that. Why? Probably because there's... I don't know. I don't know why that happens. Are your sprites 32 by 32? I think I'm going to target 32 by 32 for now. Yeah, I'm roughly basing the sprite sizes around a 32 by 32 tile grid. Not every sprite is like fits inside of a 32 by 32 canvas, but that's kind of like the standard size, you know what I mean? Okay, I guess I should probably figure out why that crash is happening, but the easier thing to do is just to ignore it. Okay, chain panel animator component. We're gonna throw this in here. Sway animation root there. I don't know if the sway is actually gonna work. Pass-through control. Yep, that's right. Add these markers. Okay, speed scale 1. We're not gonna disable sway. We're not gonna disable rotation. We're gonna have infinite sway. Our duration is gonna be 0. All right, let's see how badly that messes up. Yeah, so it doesn't like the rotation, I guess. So I basically always need another pass-through control here. This transform, boom. Layout, container sizing. Okay, let's see what this does. Okay, so that's pretty much working the way that I wanted it to. I think I do want to make this a little bit thicker. And I think I'll do that by just setting a minimum size on the label here. Custom minimum size, let's do 13 there. bottom align it to center it a little bit, and then center it like that. Then we need to go back up to, oh goodness. Oh, this. Oh, I see. There we go. I was like, why is that not working? Center that pivot offset again. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Below average cat. Why are you using C#? Personal preference, basically. It's just because I like the tools and that C# gives me. Lots of data structures out of the box that I can use, abstract classes, interfaces, that sort of thing. So that's basically it. You're welcome, Eric Grove. Hello, Dom. I have a problem. Sometimes when I launch the game, which I made on PC, on my mobile device, some of my UI controls doesn't work. Is there a possibility that I need to make a ready function async? I don't know. Like, I don't know if I have enough information to give you some good advice. Like, I don't know what you mean by the UI controls don't work. Does it mean you can't interact with them at all? Or they're not working as expected? Hello, I suck at pixel art and I want to stop sucking at pixel art. Well, Rootbin, you are in luck because just recently I published a video with a couple of pixel art tips that I learned. And by the way, I was not good at pixel art either. I still don't think that I'm the best at pixel art. I think that I'm decent enough at pixel art, but I was in your boat at one point where I didn't know how to do pixel art and I had to learn it. And so the newest video that I published on my channel is covers a bunch of the tips that I learned that made me a better pixel artist. So I would definitely encourage that you go and check out that video if you're interested. Okay, this is looking all right. I just need to move that connect marker back over. Then I'm also probably going to just put this down here. Excellent. Might want to have some kind of like sway multiplier maybe. Where's my sway tween? Yeah, maybe I'll do this. Let's make a sway distance export. I did not mean to click play, but whatever. I just wanted to build it. It's fine. Clicking play builds the project. Let's turn down the sway distance for this screen by half. Yeah, that looks much better. System null reference exception. Rich text, that's because we don't have a rich text to label anymore. We're gonna get rid of that. Offset. Oh, I see. We can get rid of all that. We need to do this now. Node, private chain panel animator component. Chain panel animator component dot play out. See what happens. Thank you, Snupbill, for the IDR 20,000 again. Very much appreciate it with the message yummers. Thank you, thank you. Very much appreciate that. Cool. Nice. All right, let's see what that looks like in game now. I got to figure out what I want to do about that reroll button. Sweet. Does not have time to animate out though, so what I want to do is probably change the speed scale here. Although, does that affect the sway as well? Oh, I didn't apply it to the sway. Good. Let's see what it looks like with a double speed scale. That looks pretty good, actually. Let's go back into the game and see. Oops, wrong button. Is there a way to see the GD script equivalent of the scripts made in C# or vice versa? Not that I'm aware of. There's like the Godot, the in-engine documentation. You can switch between, or at least the documentation on the website as well. You can switch between like the C# and GD script examples, but I don't think there's a way to take like a C# script and translate it to GD script perfectly. Ouch. Okay. Now there is one thing here. This doesn't have a play-in delay, does it? It does not. I wonder if that's affected by the speed scale. It probably is, isn't it? Do I want to... I probably want to multiply this by the speed scale, right? But I don't know if I want to get that fancy with it. I don't think I want to do that yet. It's probably fine. Yeah, we're not going to worry too much about the ins and outs of that. I think it's all right. Forgot to say hello. How are you doing? No worries. Welcome, Vishal. Yeah, I'm glad to have you here. Glad you were able to join. Okay, so this is looking good. We just got to figure out what to do now with that reroll button. Probably should turn on debug mode so I don't have to fight through this first wave every time, but it's all right. Ouch. Nice. Okay. So we get that all animated as well, but let's figure out the reroll button here. I think it would probably be... Well, let's just do this first. Commit that. So this reroll button here, it's only visible if the passive reroll 1 is unlocked. So let's go ahead and unlock it. So now if I run the game, I should be able to see that button. So it's grayed out, reroll 0. This needs to be something different. Could always just bring it down into its own panel, I suppose. So if I do like a panel container, so something like that. Might be too much. What am I going to do with this button? What am I going to do with this button? I think... I mean, that doesn't look terrible, I suppose. Oops. Why do I not have any rerolls here? Rerolls remaining. Okay. I'm just going to set this to 1. Hopefully I don't forget. Just want to see what it looks like when it's not disabled. Not sure that I like that. Well, we can try it out, I suppose. So we'll just set up a component for this. Play and delay, let's do 1. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, let's see what happens. Can you tell what git ignore do you use? Today I managed to mess up more than 4 to 5 hours of my learning progress. Oof. I just reverted back to previous commit. I am used official git ignore. Yeah, I'll pull it up in just a second here. That looks pretty good, actually. It comes in a little bit later, so I'll have to figure out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out the conditionality of that and whatnot, but I think that's probably okay for now. Okay, anyway, git ignore, yes. What do I have for my git ignore? Here. A bunch of Windows stuff in here, Mac OS stuff. I must have got this from GitHub. I guess the main one in here is... I'm not including the .godot directory. I don't think the .import directory is used anymore in Godot 4. So this is kind of old. It's from when I first started the project. There's a lot of random stuff that's ignored as well. Like node modules. I don't know why that's even in there, but very messy git ignore file, I suppose. But yeah, hopefully that helps. I think the main thing related to Godot is the .godot folder. Seems to be like the only Godot specific thing that applies to Godot 4 that's actually ignored in here. So yeah, that's my git ignore. Can't hurt to have node modules in the git ignore, you're right. Just you got to be extra sure, even when there's no JavaScript at all in your repository, just ignore it anyway. Okay, I need to go get a refill of my drink, so I'm just going to take a quick 2-minute break. In the meantime, if you want to figure out how you could support my work, check out all the links in the description below. My Udemy courses are for sale, so that's a great way of financially supporting me and learning how to build a Godot game. But also, if you want to support me in other ways, you can like, subscribe, watch all my videos, subscribe for my email list at firebelly.com, all that good stuff. So while I'm on my quick 2-minute break, if you check out the links in the description below, that would be much appreciated. And I'll be right back in just a second. Alrighty, I'm back. All right, so let's continue on. So I want this reroll button to only animate in when it's actually visible, or when we actually have the meta upgrade. So one thing that I want to do really quick, ingot button here, this disabled style, copy this. I'm going to make this disabled style the same as the normal style, because I'm not actually going to be using the disabled state except to prevent clicks briefly while it fades out, so I don't think it really needs a separate visual indicator that it's disabled. It just needs to not be clickable. So we got disabled there. Okay, cool. Okay. So the chain panel animator component, play in call deferred. I need to not autoplay this, right? So let's do this. Private void, update initial position. That's where that will be. Then we can make this public. This play in here. Oh, goodness. Let's move some things around. Cool. All right. So we need to turn off autoplay. So let's do this. Export private bool autoplay. Set that to true by default. Callable.from. Update initial position. Call deferred. If autoplay, then we'll call play in. Okay, so with that in place, let's go ahead and build. And what I'm going to want to do is for this button panel over here, I want to disable autoplay so that way I can call it in only when it needs to be called in. Turn off autoplay. So now if I run this, I shouldn't see that. It should be off screen. There we go, it's off screen. There's a little bit of a delay when I'm doing test mode, but in reality, that will just never appear. So that's good. And then what I can do is I can now conditionally control that in here. So in my, yeah, that was right. The passive reward selection screen. Where's my reroll button? Visible. So we'll just do this. If save manager.has meta upgrade, we need a reference to that. Private chain panel animator component reroll chain panel animator component dot play in. Oh, I guess I also want if there's rerolls remaining. That's a good point. Okay. Set passives and play in. Ugh. Okay, let's do this. Private int get rerolls remaining. Return that. Okay, so play in here. So set passives and play in. I think it makes more sense for this. Where is this called from? Why do I have multiple different play in sections? Set passive resources. Oh my gosh, this is all so confusing. Okay, whatever. Goodness. Goodness. Okay, we're just gonna leave it the mess that it is. It's kind of messy, but I don't have the wherewithal to refactor this all. So we're gonna leave it. Hello, Lyamar. I have a quick question. Would you recommend your course if my interest is in making an RPG with grid-based movement? Like Scald. Thanks for your answer. Are you, I guess you're referring to the C# course? I don't think really any of my courses are easily adaptable to grid-based movement. So I don't think you're going to find that in my courses. But I mean, if you're going to do it in C#, I think that there's a lot you can learn from my C# course, even if it's not going to teach you the exact mechanic that you want to use. And the same could be said, or similar could be said for the Vampire Survivors kind of course. It doesn't teach grid-based movement, but it does teach a lot of like design patterns that make building complex games a little bit more easy. So, but to answer your question, no, I don't think that there's going to be a direct benefit to you there if you're looking for grid-based movement specifically. So, yeah. Hello, Breck Heck. How are you doing? The C# course? Yeah, for sure. I do think that the C# course, obviously, I'm going to say this because I produced the course, but I do think that the C# course will teach you a lot of good things to know about working with C# and Godot. And I hope, at least, that you'll be able to easily adapt that to your own sort of mechanics. Thank you, Chad. Yeah. Okay, so what am I doing? So this update reroll button. So I want to play in if the reroll's remaining. Cool. Okay, yeah. Right, okay, then here. We'll play this out. I think that's going to work. I think the only real way to test this is going to be to go into the game Let's give it a shot. And then we can work on animating the gun part selection UI. Gotta change that screen as well. All right, let's see if this works. That just appeared in for some reason. But that seems to be working good, so that's fine. Why did that just appear in? That's a little bit concerning. Huh. It's not doing the play in. Brackheck, any thoughts on the whole Godot Twitter situation from earlier and Redo getting created? I don't really have any thought. I mean, I think I don't want to give anything too opinionated with respect to the Twitter thing, but I think what I would say is that I really want the tools that I use to be strictly professional. I don't think that organizations like Godot should be going out of their way to make certain kinds of statements. And just because of professionality, like I think people just want to be able to use the tool as the tool. That said, they can do whatever they want. You know, it's like they're the maintainers, they're the organizers. But also the nature of open source is that if people don't like what you're doing, then they can go and take the code that you've built and take it in their own direction. I don't think there's a problem with that either. You know, all that said, I'm going to stick with Godot because I like the Godot maintainers and all the work that they're doing. I think they do great work. I'm skeptical that Redo is going to do much of additional value to the Godot engine. But I mean, if you really like open source like I do, then I think we should be open to the possibility that maybe Redo will cobble together a bunch of developers that tackle a lot of the parts of the engine that are currently being, let's say, underdeveloped or not being focused on, and that if there's a good working relationship, that they'll be able to, merge those changes back into the main Godot engine. So I think that this is part of the open source nature, right? It's like people are going to spin off and do their own thing, and the hope is that that's beneficial for everyone. But if it's not, then you're not really losing anything, right? So that's kind of my thoughts on it. Oh, what happened? Hey, Firebelly, I did a Vampire Survivors course you have. Would you recommend doing your new C# course as well? Or I'm not going to get so much value from it? I don't think, I mean, unless you are planning to use C# in Godot or want to make like a puzzle game, I would not get it just to get it. If you want to support me financially, I'm not going to say no. Like if you just want to buy the course so that I get the money, you're more than welcome to do that. But if you're looking for new knowledge, a lot of the knowledge in the C# course is like very C# oriented. So if you're not planning on using C# for any of your Godot projects, then I probably would not pick it up, because I don't think you're going to get that much useful information out of it. So that would be my thoughts on that. Yeah, admittedly, so Redo did pop up in response to the drama. I didn't really look that hard into it, to be honest. My understanding is that they claimed that they were going to get a bunch of developers together to do like what I suggested earlier, to handle some of the long-standing issues with Godot. Whether that will happen or not remains to be seen. But it's that's just the nature of open source, right? Like people might have grand ideas and then it just falls apart because they don't have the talent or the resources to do it. But the other thing is maybe they'll succeed and we'll get an even better Godot engine out of it. I think it kind of stinks a bit of the Unity was eroded. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a bit of the Unity was eroded, not the engine. The concept of Unity was eroded when people left to do Redo. But yeah, the nature of open source. Yeah, I mean, I think that regardless of the motivations behind creating it, I think if they create some good stuff, I hope that the Godot maintainers will be open to merging those features back into the main engine. Yeah, competition is good. I generally agree with that as well. I think it's a good thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I gotta figure out why this reroll button here is not working. My setting. Why is this not working? This play in for some reason is not working. Is it because of this? Let me get rid of that for a second. See what happens here. Something's funky. Is play in? Is this not even being called? Let's do a gd.print in here. Let's see what happens. What kind of coffee do I drink? I drink a brand called Death Wish. And it's not because I'm some sort of edgy person, it's because it's the best black coffee that is reasonably priced, in my opinion. It tastes the best. I don't add anything to my coffee, so the standard black coffee needs to be good. This is actually a Death Wish mug. It's got like a little, I don't know, like a genie or something on it. I really like being able to watch a process. It's inspiring to me with my own game. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I like the fact that we've got like a little work session going, like a game jam session. A lot of people are working on their own projects. They got the stream up in the background. It's just nice and cozy. Sounds strong. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of that is marketing or whatever. Like they claim, oh, it's the strongest like ever, but I just like it because it tastes good. Now I don't know why this panel is not animating in properly anymore. There's something interesting going on here, and I'm just not sure what's going on. Did I see? So the yo was printed. Is the autoplay not working for some reason? So I was just seeing if the position was being updated incorrectly for some reason. Is my reroll chain... Let's do this. Are these configured correctly? Those are configured correctly. Play in. And I turned off autoplay. I'm assuming if I turned autoplay on, that it's going to work again. I think it's something related to the autoplay here that's not working well. Yeah, it's something related to the autoplay here. So perhaps there's like a race condition. Oh, you know what? Shoot. It's probably because this update initial position is being called in a deferred fashion, and then play in is being called deferred. But in here, when I call play in the ready method, that is not being called deferred. So this is being kicked off before the initial positioning has been decided. So I think what I might do is what do I want to do? Do I want to call this update initial position again when play is called? Or do I want to... See, this is kind of tricky because when I call play in from outside of the chain panel animator component, now I have to be aware as the external, consumer of that API that this needs to be called in deferred fashion, which is not great. Now, what I could do is I could say, I could make this just a wrapper around a deferred call. So I could take all this stuff here and do something like internal play in. Change this to internal play in. And then do this. Callable dot from internal play in dot call deferred. That's kind of messy, but at least now I can call play in from outside the class and not be worried about a race condition. So let's see now if this will work. Oh, it didn't work. That's very curious. I wonder if this update initial position is not being called in the right spot either. Oh my goodness. That's probably the case. So wait, let me think about this for a second. No, that should be fine. This ready method is going to be called before the ready method on this root node here. So that means that if I call play in here, I'm just going to do this. Update. Gosh. Getting everything configured to be the correct initial state, managing all the different ready methods and stuff, it can be quite hairy. It can be quite hairy indeed. That worked though. So it's definitely the case that this initial position is not being set before the play in is called. So that's unfortunate. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to... Why would that not be working? I'm kind of baffled, actually. This should definitely be called before this one. Ugh, I don't like this. I don't like this. I might just have to deal with the fact that I don't like it and just make it work. Like, this is just going to be ugly if I do this. I don't know if I really have a choice, though. I don't know if I really have a choice. Okay. Let's try it out in-game now and see what works. It's okay to be ugly, to do refactor and revisit if you need to. Yeah. Yeah, my main concern is just coming back to do further modifications and not knowing, wait, why am I calling this in a bunch of weird places, you know? But I guess we just have to deal with it. I keep forgetting to turn debug mode on for the level here. Okay. That seems to be working great. I'm just going to play the next. I'm going to play the next wave just to make sure that that reroll no longer comes back down. Oh, the reroll did come back down. Why? Am I not telling you explicitly that? Why is that happening? You shouldn't be playing in if you're not... What? Are you serious? Okay. There's also one minor thing that I want to do really quick. Change some of those theming options there. Okay. Let's go to the hub level, or hub arena rather. We're going to turn... No, not the hub arena. Dungeon arena. Turn on debug mode. All right, let's try it. Just watch your pixel art video. Cool stuff, man. Helped me a lot. Thanks. Love your content. Well, thank you, Popper. Poplar. Sorry, that's an L, not an I. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you enjoyed the video. Reroll, boom. It keeps coming down. Why do you keep coming down? There's no rerolls remaining. I'm not telling you to animate. What is going on? Okay, so let's just make sure that I've got this all correct. I guess I'm going to put a breakpoint there. I call my dog Popper. That's a good name for a dog. Oops, I pressed the wrong button, I think. Okay, so it's still dropping down, but it's not calling the play in here. I am at a loss. Unless... Yeah, I'm really confused why that animation is happening. There's no way that that should be doing anything. Oh, maybe it's the play out. Is that what's happening? Yeah, I'm kind of stumped. I'm kind of baffled. Oh, it's the play out. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, so it's another race condition. So ideally this playout shouldn't be played if it hasn't been played in. So yeah, this probably shouldn't be played if it hasn't been played in already. But I don't think I want to store that logic inside. So it's just another race condition. This play out is being called. You know what? This would be so much easier if I just do... On reroll pressed. I think what I'm going to do is I basically just need to not call this if it hasn't been played in yet, but I need to figure out what the best way of doing that is. I think what I could probably do is just store a flag here. Private bool. Okay, let's try that. Hopefully that fixes my issues and I can move on from this dang screen. Okay, reroll button. Boom, click that. It goes out. I can leave. I can come back. And that's not going to go again. Very nice. So now the next thing to do is to just very quickly go to my save. I want to do passive reroll 2 now. So let's try it with 2 rerolls and we'll give it a shot. Game's coming together though. Demo should be, well, I'm going to really try to get the demo done for the end of this month. But we will see. The updated demo, which is more or less going to be basically what the full game is going to be like, minus some content. I should probably disable that for a short period of time as well. Perfect. All right. That's looking good. Okay. So maybe I'll add that little nice to have. Let's stage those changes. So when I click the reroll button, get tree.create timer. Let's do 1 second. Dot timeout plus equals on reroll delay timer timeout. Reroll button dot disabled equals true. Reroll button dot disabled. Well, I guess I can just do I might as well just call update reroll button again, since that's going to be easiest. Okay, so that's just so that you don't accidentally double click the reroll button and use both of your rerolls at the same time. I shouldn't have run that version. I should go play the full game here. How long have you been developing Gunforge? It's looking really good. Thank you. It's been years at this point. I probably started it like 3 years ago or something. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, you're going to hear my voice probably here soon. Oh no, okay. I thought I had like a trailer video or something, but maybe I don't. Maybe it's because I'm live. Anyway, I'm gonna pull up one of my old... Oops, you might have heard me there. I'm gonna pull up one of my old Gunforge. The very first Gunforge devlog I did when I called it Gun Game. Boom. Let's take a look at this. Hopefully everyone can see this. So this was the initial version of the game, and this was published December 12th, 2020. So going on 4 years, actually, the game has existed in some form. So you can see here, this was the old version of the game. And you can still see I've got that ammo mechanic that carried over the past 4 years, I guess. The rat enemies were different in style, but they were same concept. And I actually started the game as like you had 2 floating guns, and you were more like a gun wizard, and you could, you know, root them in place and then use that rooted position as like your aim position. But then I switched to just more of a classic, you hold your own guns and then you switch between them. So the gun switching mechanic and the ammo sharing mechanic has stayed throughout all that time, but the game was initially supposed to be like a randomly generated levels, you know, where you could get a bunch of loot. Like this is like an inventory screen here, and then you could like build your guns. So there's some elements of similarity here, but yeah, the game obviously looks radically different. And like you could just see, let's pull up this one as well. So like this was a very early version of Gunforge. This was published January 19th of 2021. So again, almost 4 years ago. So you can see some similarities, but the game has definitely changed a lot. So yeah, about 4 years, this game has been in development in some form. It's not like I've been working full days on Gunforge for 4 years. There's like a period of several months at a time where I never touched it, you know? But yeah, it's gone through a lot. So I really want to, after the game is released, I want to make a video sort of going through all of the stages of Gunforged. I think it's going to be really fascinating to see in like a 10-minute video how 4 years affects a game. Do you think manager classes are to be avoided? I've heard mixed stuff about them, and I see you have a few. I think generally that's good advice, because I think manager classes are those things where it's like, if you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Like, you can definitely overuse them. That said, I think that they're very useful. Like, they're the most straightforward way to accomplish things in a lot of cases. And so I think it's just you just have to do a case-by-case basis. I would say it's probably best to see if you can accomplish what you need to accomplish in a different way. But if the manager class ends up being the easiest way to do it, then you should use it, right? 4 years is nothing for a labor of love. I've been working on my game on and off for longer than that, than I would be willing to admit. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, I've always liked this game, and it's gone through a lot of iteration, but yeah, I think persistence and iteration is key. And of course, you have to be having fun with it as well. But yeah, what's your game about, Christopher? The one that you've been working on. Maybe I've asked you before and I just forgot, I'm sorry. In the trailer, did I see the player do a roll? Was that an animation state change when changing directions? Or it happens intermittently? Yeah, it was a roll whenever you did a dodge. I used to have like an actual animation for the roll. I actually, back in the early versions of Gunforged, I was using like skeleton animations for the entities, and that was just way too much work, so I simplified my animation process a bunch to what I'm using now. Very cool, yeah. If you had worked full-time on it from the start, how long do you think it would have taken? Oh, probably like a year and a half, maybe. I mean, accounting for all the different iterations and changes of direction, probably like a year and a half. Was it in C# from the start? Yes, it was. Yes, it was in C# from the start. I actually have a video on my channel covering the process of updating this game to Godot 4 and all the C# changes that that entailed. Puzzle VS game. Right, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Okay, that is not working at all. Oh, I know why. Actually, I think I probably should do that in here then. Let's try that again. I'll be starting my game dev after I finish your survivor's course. Wish me luck. Good luck, Eric Grove. Yeah. Good luck. No, it's fine. Game dev is one of those things where you could just take your time with it. Unless, of course, you're trying to make money, then you kind of rush a little bit. But if you're just doing it as a hobby, then take as much time as you need to learn everything and works out good. Okay, that seems to be working great now. Cool. All right, are there any other questions in the chat? Otherwise, I think I'm going to end the stream there today. It's lunchtime, gotta go get some lunch in me. But happy to stick around and answer any more questions. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for any more chats to come in, again, if you want to support my work, please check out the links in the description below. The best way to support me financially at the moment is to pick up one of my Udemy courses, which of course you'll also learn how to make a Godot game from those courses, so it's a win-win. And if you can't or don't want to financially support me for whatever reason, then liking, subscribing, watching videos, all that good stuff, signing up for my email list at firebelly.com, those are all great free ways of supporting me, and every little bit helps for sure. Of course, you can also wishlist Gunforged and purchase that when it comes out in a couple of months. So yeah, definitely check out the links in the description below. Every way you could support me exists down there. Thank you, Cami. Yeah, no questions, but want you to know how valuable your streams and content are. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys are enjoying these streams as much as I am, so yeah, I'm having fun with it. Like I said, probably we'll try to get on a more regular stream schedule, like stream every morning in the weekday if possible. And probably won't stream on the weekends just because everyone's doing their own thing on the weekend and people have different schedules for the weekend, so. All right, well, that'll be it for the stream today. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all in advance. Well, thank you all to everyone who has already supported me and who is going to support me, and thank you for watching. So I will see you in the next video or the next stream, and I hope you all have a good day. All right.